Man United has still got some very, very good players at that club.
You know what's interesting about McTominay is he scores here coming on as a sub, and he replaces Marcus Rashford. And you're thinking, if a team needs a goal, that's not the sub you're making. And yet, honestly, he's probably more likely, right, Stevie, to bring you that goal. Certainly, if Eric Ten Hag, you've looked over to this guy a million times, and he's bailed you out.
Yeah, I mean, you just look at McTominay's record that we just showed there. So, in some senses, it's a bit of a no-brainer. And at the same time, taking off Rashford, who this season in particular hasn't been putting the ball in the back of the net. So it kind of seems a bit of a no-brainer. But he's popped up and he's produced again. But unfortunately for McTominay, it doesn't matter how many goals he scores like that. He's always going to be coming off the bench.
Why? You think?
Well, because there's other players in front of him. Manu's absolutely 100% ahead of him. I mean, just along that midfield today, the midfield three, Casemiro, Manu and Fernandes, that's going to be their three, definitely for the rest of the season and probably starting next season as well. So that means McTominay doesn't start, but he comes on if they need a goal. That's just the reality for McTominay. And eventually he's going to want away. Whether they want to let him go, I don't know, but eventually he's going to want to leave.
It's that fine line of coming off the bench and making an impact one too many times. Because guess what happens?
Yep.
You're the super sub.
Labeled.
You're the super sub. And so, look, you're effective coming off the bench. Whatever is it that you do coming off the bench seems to be far more effective and efficient than when you start the match. And so, therefore, guess what? Sit right there. You're going to get an opportunity to play. It won't be as long as you want to, but we're counting on you to make a difference. And he has done that. I will say this about the game in general. Aston Villa, and you ask whether they be kicking themselves. Yeah, it's one of those games, if you're Aston Villa, that you walk into the locker room and you kind of go, how did we lose that?
Yep.
What happened? What? Because they had chances. Ollie Watkins has chances. Douglas Luiz had chances even after he scored the goal. They had moments of transition that if they pick out the right pass, Manchester United were all over the place defensively, and they didn't. Onana came up with saves in the first half, came up with saves in the second half. And so if you're Manchester United, you kind of frame this the other way and say, look, we found a way to win a game, a tough match away from home. If you're Aston Villa, you're saying, what in the world? How did we manage to lose that? They deserve a lot more out of this game, but this is not about deserving. This is about execution. This is about doing, and Manchester United did, instead of Aston Villa wishing that they did.
United right now 6 points back of Spurs in the top four. Don, based on what you saw today, you think Manchester United can make up those 6 points and get into the top four?
Maybe. I mean, their big hope is maybe in the Premier League this year. Top 5 might get you in the Premier League, but that's very, very complicated. I think the form that they're in, and just on the point, about, Scott McTominay, he's a player that's obviously in form and playing well and scoring goals. And the boys mentioned that he might be on the bench. If you're going on player performances and you look at the performances of Bruno Fernandes, if I'm picking one player that I think is going to be more of a goal threat for Man United, Scott McTominay or Bruno Fernandes, I think it's Scott McTominay. So why wouldn't you play the player in form? He plays at number 10 for Scotland. Steve Clarke plays him in that position. And he certainly scores goals for Scotland. So, yeah, to answer your question, I think they can. They're in good form. They've got to make sure they keep the desire. I think the spine of the team is a lot more settled. I mean, they obviously lost Lisandro Martinez, so that's made them a little bit weaker. But in general, I think the spine with Casemiro's back and Højlund scoring goals looks a lot stronger.
What'd you say there? Not a chance?
There's not a chance. McTominay plays in Bruno Fernandes.
Why not?
Because there's not. There's just not.
Why?
You know how the game works. It's not.
Yeah, but
it's
who's
not
the better
simple.
player?
It's not. Well, Bruno Fernandes is a better player.
No, not on form.
What do you mean on form? McTominay's coming off the bench and scoring goals. What has that got to do with leaving your captain out and playing Scott McTominay? There is not a chance. There's more chance of Aston Villa winning the Champions League this year than Scott McTominay playing instead of Bruno Fernandes.
No, I don't think Ten Hag will do it. I'm asking the question, why would he not do it?
Because he won't. You've just answered your own question.
Well, I know, but he should.
No, he shouldn't.
No, you don't sound like a very flexible manager. I would have hated to play for you.
Completely disrupt the whole... that particular move... That particular move would completely disrupt the dressing room. Do you think Bruno Fernandes is not going to go absolutely bonkers?
I mean, is that a reason why you don't do it? Eric Ten Hag's never been afraid to make a big move. No, he's not. He threw Ronaldo out of the team.
That's a no-brainer, absolute no-brainer. What you're talking about are two completely different things. If you want to go and upset the Man United dressing room, you know the best move? Drop Fernandes. Let's see how many hand grenades he throws in when he goes in.
That might tell you, Stevie. That might tell you how
it's
delicate...
It's not going to change anything at Man United. Man United won this game today because of Harry Maguire, Varane, and the goalkeeper made some saves. It was about a defensive display.